People say everything happens for a reason, and I had issues from my tour in Afghanistan. But if I wouldn't have come home when I did, Owen wouldn't be here. We had beyond issues trying to have a child. We went through thousands of dollars, pills, injections, nothing worked. And when I came back from Afghanistan, all of a sudden it happened.
I've seen a different side of Brian. I think he lights up when he's around Owen. He has so much fun. And it's just that family. We've always wanted a big family. We've always wanted a little person to love.
He's named after my grandfather, which is a huge impact on us, being able to see my grandfather every day in my son and just enjoy the life that he's brought to us. Parenthood makes you change as a person 110%. Your outlook on life, what you're grateful for, what you need, everything. I injured myself pre-deployment when I was down in Fort Hood. I injured my back on a machine gun range, and when I was there, it was towards the end of our pre-mob, and we decided that it was one of those, just tough it out. Tough it out, be a team player, let's put the checks in the box, and let's get overseas and we can take care of it. When we got overseas, I just let it go. And it just continuously got worse and worse and worse. Being a truck driver, we were on roads that weren't really roads. We'd go from paved roads to washed out rivers, and wearing 80 to 100 pounds of gear, and in trucks with little to no suspension, my back took a toll, and about halfway through the deployment, it finally just gave out.
I didn't find out he was going to be medevaced out until shortly before he was. I didn't know he was injured. That was one of those things he didn't tell me to keep me so I wouldn't worry.
I did my flight evaluation, and then I flew out on the 22nd, which was bittersweet. I knew I was getting my back fixed, but in my mind at that time, I was leaving my one family, which was my unit, and not going to be able to spend it with my actual family either, so I'd be all by myself for Christmas. When I got to Launchstall, the people on the plane made it seem possible to be able to be home for Christmas. So again, I went from 0 to 100 on the excitement scale, and so we went through the orientation at the hospital, and that's when they said, hospital's closing in a couple hours, we're closed on Christmas Eve, we're closed on Christmas, we'll schedule you for after. So again, I go from 0 to 100 back down to 0, because again, I'd be all by myself for the holiday. While I was there was a retired Marine, and he decided to take us, all the people at the WTU, on a trip up and down the Rhine River. So we had a big charter bus, and he kind of was our tour guide for the day on Christmas. We got to go up and through a couple towns, look at a couple castles, take a ferry over the river, and came back to a small town in Germany where they actually had a Christmas dinner ready for us.
That's what we did. It's all done.
I know he was disappointed not to be home for Christmas, but everything they did for him in Launchstall was awesome. They had a really nice meal, and they got to go tour, the city a little bit, and just have some fun with some other guys that were in the same position he was. So that was all really nice.
We're all there for the same reason and going through the same issues. So we bonded really quickly and got to hang out on Christmas like I was hanging out with my family. And it ended up being amazing.
I spent Christmas in Maryland with his family, and his mom kept talking about how she was so worried about him and wished he was here for Christmas, and it was so hard not to say, he's okay, he's not in Afghanistan anymore.
My wife and I made a plan of how to surprise my parents.
We planned on going out to dinner, and they all got to the restaurant first.
As they walked in, they walked, and I came in the opposite way. And my mom screamed so loud.
his mom turned and saw him, and she screamed, and his dad was hilarious. He just looked dumbfounded. He had no idea what was happening. They hugged and cried, and I cried, and it was just a really happy day.
After she settled down, I told her I didn't have to go back. I was stationed down in Maryland because I was injured. She yelped even louder. I got even better news. I'm not going back. She was beyond thrilled. I've been injured. And then we also got to surprise my grandmother and some other friends and family on New Year's Eve, which is really awesome. It was the coolest thing I think we've ever done, to be able to surprise people. It was amazing.
I just want to say thank you so much to all the doctors, nurses, and staff at Landstuhl for everything you've done for my husband, and not just my husband, but all the soldiers that come through those doors, that you take care of them and send them home to their families. Brian and I appreciate everything that you've done for us.
I'd like to say thank you to the doctors, nurses, and staff at Landstuhl. You guys made my Christmas unforgettable. Without you, it would have been a very lonely Christmas. You guys made it so I felt at home. You guys were very warm. You guys did an amazing job making myself, and I know everybody else there, feel like they were part of the family at a not so happy time in the majority of our lives. So I sincerely want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without you, it would have been a miserable Christmas. Thanks.